Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. So, Foodie Beauty is being quiet right now, and for good reason because she's in serious trouble in Kuwait relating to the catnapping and the fact that she took a cat off the street when she shouldn't have, and she was receiving donations for said kitten. The kitten was returned. Uh, there was another organization, Paws Kuwait, that got the mother cat, Bruce, the kitten, and its sister, took them back, gave them proper medical care, and they'll be up for adoption soon. They're going to be fostered. So, good news for the kitten and his family. But in the meantime, Foodie is being quiet. Very, very quiet. There might be a possibility that she got detained at the airport and she can't fly back home to Canada. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but For One's Divination did a reading last night and it was very insightful. And I thought I would sit down and do a tarot react for those of you that like me doing the tarot reacts. And you guys will see what For Wands has to say about this whole situation. And trust me, it's a doozy. This reading is a doozy. Yes, it is. So I've got For One's Divination all pulled up, and it's a short reading. It's not very long at all. There's a lot of information here. I will leave the link down below in the description. If you guys have never heard of For One's Divination and you want to check out her channel and all of her wonderful content, please do so. But let me go ahead and just blow this up and we'll get started. And thank you for doing this reading, For Wands. And off we go, everybody.
Investigation for illegally accepting donations when that's supposed to go to charities who registered charities who won't scam people. Okay, I can tell you already that she has 3 major transits astrological transits challenging her in her particular space. Number 1, Pluto and Aquarius. That is absolutely going to tend to bring up consequences to people who have been trying to escape them now for a while. Also, Neptune went into Aries after having spent 14 years in Pisces. So this is about fighting suddenly for your dreams, for your delusions. Before it was just kind of swimming around thinking about the delusions. It might be nice to live in these fantasies one day. But with Neptune pushing into Aries in March, she started pushing harder for the things that she really, really wanted out of life, most likely. I don't have a current transit up for her right now, but I can see when it starts moving into her sun sign area that that's going to create tensions. As of this filming, 6 days ago, Saturn transited into Aries after having been in Pisces for, I believe, 3 or 4 years, 3 years at least. And that's all about bringing constrictions and restrictions to people under the sign of Aries. And her sun sign is in Aries. This is punishment. These are dad figures saying, you can't do this. Okay? So that happened just 6 days ago. And lo and behold, look at this. She has consequences coming at her fast.
Yes, she does. And here's the thing. Foodie not only watches the reaction channels, she knows about the tarot channels as well. She knows about myself. She knows about Neo Tarot. She knows about Sunburst Tarot, For One's Divination, Melissa Gold Tarot. She knows about the tarot channels. And best believe she watches the tarot readings. And we have been telling her for quite a while that she needs to go home. I mean, the reaction channels have been saying it. We've been saying it too. We've been feeling like something's been coming down the pike. We didn't know what it was. We didn't know what form it would take, but we were telling her there are going to be consequences for your actions, Foodie. Like everything around you right now is falling apart for a reason. And the reason is because you're trying to hang on to something that is not meant for you. You're in a place where you don't belong. You're with somebody that does not care for you. You're trying to maintain this fantasy life that really doesn't exist. And all you're doing is creating a lot of unhappiness for yourself. And the longer you hang on to it, the more unhappy you're going to be and the more consequences you're going to get. So The tarot readers, we've been warning her and we've been telling her to go home. And now she might have to go home because this thing with her, it's on an international level. It's not just Pause Kuwait that has the attention of Foodie and her Beezers, but there's also another organization. I was on Twitter this morning. There is another one that also knows about Foodie. So, like, word is getting spread everywhere about this. Like, this is bigger than YouTube, y'all. This is much, much, much bigger. This is the find out phase of the F around cycle.
Astrological transits do not fuck around. By the way, if I haven't already said this, excuse the lighting. I saw what was going on just before I went to bed. I was like, I have to put something up. This is too huge, okay? I'm wondering if there's not the possibility of this being the start of the Crackhead Olympics 2.0 that Spirit and I talked about a while back. I will link it up there in the info card and down in the description down below. It is highly worth a watch. It basically talks about what's going to happen from the point that everything blows up to the point that she leaves this mortal coil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everything I say here is allegedly for entertainment purposes only, including in the Crackhead Olympics 2.0 video that I filmed, I believe, in December, right around, it was Shitgate. I'm using the Seventh Sphere Lenormand by Tina Gong at Labyrinthos to take a look at this particular situation. I'll be using a portrait spread, and I shuffle until Spirit asks me to stop. Look at this. This is the central theme, bear. These are consequences that she can't run away from. When a bear really starts moving, God help you. God help you, dude. This, I feel like, is investigations, the Kuwaiti government. People have gotten fed up with her presence in the area, and they're saying no more. So that's the central theme. On the second row, on the second column too, I'll put a picture up to help explain better what's going on. House. I'm building the first row. This is about what is consciously going on. Something's going on behind closed doors that she does not want us to know about. However, house lands on top of the house of the writer, which is about news. Suddenly the doors and the windows are being blown open because this news gives them no option but to flee the house. The house is not a refuge anymore.
No, it's not. It definitely isn't. And going back to the bear card, my thoughts about the bear card is, let's think about what a bear is. It's a very big, vicious creature, and it tends to move very slow most of the time. Things that have been happening in Kuwait around Foodie, as far as the consequences of her actions, she's been there for 3 years and breaking a lot of laws, a lot of regulations, just really flaunting herself. And I think that has led to things happening now, is that the longer she stayed there, the more that she got away with, the more bold it made her to go further. Like, she just became like a bratty little girl running around thinking that she could do whatever she wanted in Kuwait. She was under the impression that she was well hidden, maybe because the car was in somebody else's name and the house was in somebody else's name. And she was just running around with the attitude of, nah, they can't find me. They can't get me. Well, it looks like they're going to find you and they're going to get you, Foodie. But it's like Icarus flying too close to the sun. You fly too close to the sun, you're going to get burned. But she's been running around doing her thing, breaking all kinds of laws, and people made her aware of the Kuwaiti laws, that you can't do this and you can't do that and this is illegal, and she didn't care. She was just becoming extremely brazen. Well, things might be progressing on an international level because she got too bold and she did too much. But the bear, That bear could be the Kuwaiti government, where consequences were moving slow, but once that bear gets moving, there's no stopping it.
Look at this whip coming right after the house. This is conflict. This is punishment coming from up above. And it's not a mistake that these two guys are in alignment. This is the current present situation. Conflict, fighting. Is it true that Kuwait practices flogging? Alleged.
I don't know. That I do not know. Although I don't think they would go that far with Chantal to do that to her. I really don't think so. I think they'll send her home before they do that. I think if Chantal's going to face consequences in Kuwait, do I think that they will put her in jail? Maybe not. This could be where her health, her lack of health, works in her favor. Because if they take a look at her and see that she's a 500 plus pound woman and she would need serious medical care, which would require large amounts of money, they may look at her and say, well, we could punish her here, but it's going to be expensive. Do we really want to do that? It would just be cheaper to send her home.
Allegedly for entertainment purposes only here, okay? Bear, this is going to be the dominant fact. She likes to dominate the conversation, but everything's being turned on its head. Bear lands on top of the house of the tree. This is a situation that has had roots in the ground now for a while, has been growing, and has finally reached to the point where it is a mature tree, the situation is, and now the tree gets to be chopped down. The bear gets to claw it the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
She has no control over this situation. It is wildly out of her control. There's a real possibility that they could prevent her from flying out, because if she's under investigation, the Kuwaiti government is not going to allow her to fly out. I looked at the United States Embassy website. I understand that she's not an American citizen, but it applies to everybody regardless of where they live. She's in Kuwait. She's under their laws now. Dog, she's going to have to obey. She's going to have to obey the flogging. She's going to have to obey the conflict. The punishment, she's going to have to obey. The doors get blown wide open. She does not get to hide. This is something that she's going to try to run away from, and it will possibly be successful, but possibly not. That dog lands in the column that's associated with the future. Sun, exposure, they're finally successful in exposing her. Finally. The sun has been peeking in through the blinds and the shitty doorways now for a hot minute. This is in the past column, and I'll put up a picture once again to show you what I'm talking about. This has been a warning sign now for a hot minute. Also, the Kuwaiti sun, quite literally, this is a punishing, literally and figuratively. Lenormand does not fuck around, just like the Kuwaiti government does not fuck around. Ship, this has been going on, okay? Yep. She's going to have to obey and be deported. Consider that to be a plane. Okay? Traveling long distances to Canada, 13-hour flight. She has no other choice. I've not finished this yet, but I see in the future that she will be deported. I don't know that she's going to get to leave before they punish her. I'm getting yes, they will. Maybe not. There's still a lot going on. There's a lot happening in the air, a lot of energy around the situation right now. Nothing is totally, completely set in, or nothing is. A lot is set in stone. They're waiting to make their move is what I'm getting from Spirit. Okay? Don't know what that means. I guess we'll get to find out.
I just want to put this in here. I was watching this last night, and when Four Wands came to this part where she was talking about the Kuwaiti sun, I just had a thought in my mind. Kuwaiti Sun, it sounds like the name of a newspaper to me. There is a Kuwaiti Times. I did look to see if there was a Kuwaiti Sun. There is no Kuwaiti Sun newspaper, but newspaper could also be, this could be big news. And it is big news right now. It's all over Twitter. It is all over YouTube. Not one, but two organizations have taken notice of Foodie. And you have to know, if Pause Kuwait is talking about it on their Instagram page, and also the other one talking about it on their Instagram page, word is going to spread everywhere. It's not just going to be the organizations themselves that take notice of Chantal, but anybody subscribed to those pages. And then those people that are on those pages are going to spread the word elsewhere. So, like, this is going to spread like wildfire. This might go viral.
Later on, this might also be something that she tends to lie about because it is so humiliating for her. When I talked about Crackhead Olympics 2.0, there were a couple of secrets that were just so humiliating for her that she could not even dream of them coming out. And this might quite possibly be one of them. And I'm getting from Spirit that yes, it is. I'm sorry I'm stumbling over my words. This is what happens when a Gemini gets way too excited, okay? Letter. Conflict with this particular letter. Possibly a marriage contract.
I think it is the marriage contract. I think it might get revealed that they were never married, as Girl World has been saying for the longest. We know the two of you aren't married. She refused to show the marriage certificate. I heard that it was completely in Arabic, and Chantal doesn't know how to read Arabic, and she didn't want to show the copy on YouTube, where there are people who might be able to break it down, interpret it, and see what it really is. She didn't want to show it to YouTube because she was afraid perhaps of what was really on there. I don't think there was ever a marriage certificate. I think it was more of a contract, a business contract, an agreement between her and Salah, outlining what he did, what he was there for, what he got paid for, uh, just a business agreement, like a financial agreement. You do this for me, and I pay you this amount. So that might get brought to the forefront. That for the past 3 years that she's tried to get people to believe that she was married, that she really wasn't married. It was all a lie, a great big lie. Has been from the very beginning.
That piece of paper that she signed at the wedding, so-called, I wonder if that's not going to get hauled out and it's going to get solidly discussed. This lands on the 6th house, and for God's sake, I don't remember what it is right now.
If there are legal issues, if there are consequences for what Foodie has done, and there's a chance that Salah is going to get swept up in it, because during the catnapping video, his face was shown. He was there. She wasn't completely alone on that video. He's got family over in Kuwait. I don't know what connections they have. I don't know if they're going to make some phone calls or they have contacts with people. He might have to do what he needs to do to save his own skin. And if it means ratting Foodie out, if it means exposing the contract to show that they were never married, that he was just playing a part and paid by her, that's when that contract lie might come forward.
Flustered. Child. The child gets a spanking. This is the present reality. Present reality. Kids getting a spanking from the universe. Universe says enough is enough. You've abused enough cats. This is Timbit's revenge. This is BBJ's revenge. Sam's revenge. For all the cats that you've stepped on, that you've starved, that you've laughed at while they were in pain, in hunger, or whatever have you. For all the shitty things that you've done, this is karma coming back through another kitty cat.
I agree with that, but I'd like to take it further. I think it's a across the board kind of thing. This is a universe, I feel, just showing Foodie you can't do whatever you want, and you can't say whatever you want, and you can't hurt people and animals without consequences. This is also the universe saying it's time for you to learn to be a little bit humble and come back down to earth, because that's what she needs. She needs She needs an entire humble pie all to herself. And then she needs to eat some and swallow it and just get grounded. She's been high and mighty too long, operating completely on arrogance and selfishness and greed. And that is no good for her, and that is no good for the universe either. The purpose of spirit is to teach us and show us a way to be the best us we can be. And Foodie is definitely not the best her that she can be. So she's been riding on arrogance and greed and selfishness and thinking she could do whatever she wants and cause as much hurt as she likes without consequences in the universe is putting the brakes on all of that.
The child gets whacked. Hold on. 6 cloud? Nope. Letter, I'm sorry, this lands on the house of the snake. Deception. Two-facedness. This is quite possibly the Wasta marriage contract. Landing on the house of the snake. It's all about deception. She doesn't know completely what it was about because I don't believe that Salah completely translated everything perfectly for her. I believe that he deliberately hid some things for her. And people have been saying that now for a while since she signed that particular contract. So sorry. Now I remember. Letter lands on the house of the snake and ship lands on the house of the clouds. She doesn't see this coming just yet. She is in such a state of emotional frenzy right now that she cannot think straight. But I do see this coming. She's going to be forced to be deported. She's going to be forced to obey the law and leave. Last and not least, I haven't looked at it yet. Oh, tower. Isolation. Also, prison towers. I wonder if she isn't going to be isolated, punished somewhat in the state of Canada for having dodged taxes or dodged something. So she's got punishment coming to her from Kuwait and punishment quite possibly coming to her from Canada. When karma hits, it hits so fucking hard if you're like Chantal. Is what I'm getting from this particular situation, okay? She has no choice. She has been chasing this particular... She's been playing house now for forever and a day. We're reading like the surrounding situation of the cards. Those are the corner cards. She has been trying to play house for so long, acting like the obedient little wife, and that couldn't be further from the truth. This marriage contract isolated her because she couldn't talk about that. The tower lands on the house of the bouquet. She wanted to talk about this with her fans, with the people that, well, even with Gorwald. She wanted people talking about this, but she couldn't. She had to shut up. This particular event, I really do feel like it's going to set off Crackhead Olympics, because 2.0, I should say, because it's just going to be like pulling stuff like a thread out of a rug, and you just keep pulling and pulling and pulling. And oh my God, there's something underneath this rug. This is going to be batshit insane.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying. I don't know if she's being detained in Kuwait or she will be detained. That remains to be seen. But it goes without saying, when she comes back to Canada, she's going to be angry. She's going to be suffering from that narcissistic injury. It's going to be huge, y'all. It's going to be a huge bruise on her ego that she did not leave on her own terms and when she wanted to, that she was forced out. I have a feeling that if she goes to Canada, she is going to be bad-mouthing not just Salah, but Kuwait. She's going to be bad-mouthing the Middle East. She's going to be bad-mouthing Salah. Oh, she's going to go for it. She's absolutely going to go for it. She's going to trash talk all over the place and pro-Canada. Yeah, like she's going to let all of that anger out.
I said that in the December Crackhead Olympics 2.0 reading. Spirit said specifically that she's going to be screaming at the audience.
Yep.
You are insane. Just like when she realized that she couldn't get BBJ back, that BBJ was at last safe and in the loving arms of somebody who genuinely cares for that sweet kitty cat, okay? So Spirit is saying that's enough for me. I need to chill out and go to bed. This situation is by no means over. Seriously, go watch that Crackhead Olympics 2.0 video. It's basically a roadmap for what we can expect from this point on until things end for her. Okay? I will come back to this topic. Obviously, it is popping off right now, and I just want to jump into the energy of it because I'm a Gemini. We love to talk, okay? Thank you for watching to this particular point. I hope you have a great evening. Take care.
Wonderful video for once, and thank you for posting it. Hope you guys on my channel enjoyed it. And I'm going to go ahead and post it to YouTube. And I wish you all a wonderful day. So take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.